this. VG8 Radio. VG8 Radio.
VG8 Radio.
VG8 Radio.
Hello guys, welcome to Game Mode, which is a video gaming and tabletop gaming podcast. I know guys, it's been a while after a very long hiatus and we're back again online. So again guys, thank you for tuning in sa mga nanonood ngayon. So that's si Raymar, saka si Pete, si Sir Mark, and then si Ruby Ann. Thank you guys. So ayun, please do share this video dun sa mga kaibigan nyo so that we could spread this kind of advocacy na to spread the culture or the gaming culture in kumbaga. So let's go and do the first topic or yung ano natin, rephrase natin kumbaga. So yung rephraser natin is, or rather yung recap na or rundown natin. Late yung previous nung on the episode 6. So, we tackle about Barthel's taxonomy, which is we tackle about kung ano yung individual or as a gamer, what motivates you to play that specific video game. And then, doon naman sa tabletop side, yung in-explain natin dito is yung table collection ratio or kung paano mo ibabalance out well yung collection mo when it comes to tabletop. Kasi, as we do know naman, tabletop is a very expensive hobby. So, I already gave basic tip or kung ano yung pagbalance mo with those collections that you currently have or you're going to start kumbaga. And then last, which is yung personal criteria of how you could base or how you sure are you to buy a specific tabletop. Kasi if you're gonna buy a game that you're not certain na it won't be played by your game group, then I do suggest na don't ever buy that collection, or if ever man dahil nagustuhan mo talaga yung game niya, you can buy it to your own personal game. So that is the wrap up for dun sa recap natin for episode 6. So ano ba yung tatakal natin for episode 7 ngayon? So episode 7 we're going to be tackling about dun sa how to save up money on Steam, which is yung ginagawa ko. So I'll be providing tips and tricks. And then dun sa tabletop side naman, I'm going to be explaining of as a tabletop enthusiast, how does it make you better when it comes to playing tabletop and then applying it to the video game settings or video game mechanics kumbaga. Like how do you get to improve your video gaming skills when it comes in playing tabletop games. Alright? So let's go on our first topic. So the first topic natin, which is yung how to save up money on Steam. So there are like 2, 4, 6, 7 steps to do that. Let's go to the first step, which is number 1, use your wish list. Bakit? Kasi as we do know, tayo mga Pilipino, sobrang compulsive natin when it comes to buying games. One reason is that, ayun nga, pag nagustuhan natin yung mga bagay-bagay, bibiliin mo yan, insta-buy kagad. I do suggest na don't ever do that kasi alam mo naman tayo may buhay rin naman tayo, hindi naman puro games and all. So ang advice ko, use your wish list to the point na it can filter in any way na what to buy games or what to not buy games. Kasi iba rin kasi yung yung meron kang listahan dun sa sa Steam account mo. So this is a Steam tip pala if you're a Steam user. So anyway, you can apply it to others as well, pero suggest ko, sobrang recommended siya for Steam users. Anyway, so use your wishlist and ang mangyayari is kung ano man yun nandun sa listahan mo ng wishlist, dun ka mag-base sa mga binibili mo. Especially pag nakita mo doon sa listahan mo na discounted price siya. Unlike dun sa normal list na basta-basta ka lang nag-check yung doon sa listahan ng inyong mga program sa Steam and then wala pa siyang discounted, don't ever buy it. Like, wait for it to get sale or discounted if ever you may. Yun yung usually kong ginagawa, guys. So, do follow if ever you may. Then, second, keep an eye on publisher bundles. Bakit? Kasi they're much more cheaper than what you're going to buy kumbaga in the normal. Let's say, for example, sabihin natin Assassin's Creed. So, Assassin's Creed is published by Ubisoft. So, imaginein mo naman, ang dami nung series. So, sabihin natin Assassin's Creed Black Flag, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Assassin's Creed, lahat na Revelations. Sige, banggitin mo lahat. Or kahit nga yung Don't Starve na series. So, including yung solo, pati yung Don't Starve Together. So, if ever na magkaroon ng weekly sale, and then especially ang theme nila for that specific weekly sale is yung publisher sale. Ayun, check mo yung comparison nila. Like, worth it bang bilihin yung bundle ng publisher? But, long story short, sobrang worth it niya. Kasi much more cheaper siya. Sabihin natin like, 60%, 70%, tapos magkano lang inaabot ng mga games in overall. Let's say, sabihin natin, Borderlands. So, Borderlands, umabot siya like, imagine mo like a whooping 2K and then you could buy it like 1K. So, parang 50% off siya na makukuha mo lahat yung mga bundle. So, ano lang, what if scenario lang guys. So, don't take my word for it na meron ganun na current sale for Borderlands. Pero, as I remember, sale siya ngayon. So, check nyo lang kung worth it ba talagang bilhin siya. Then, third, snap up expansions and DLCs. What do you mean, Shiki? Yung sinasabi dito is that yung sa expansions or DLCs, di ba merong mga ibang mga games doon that yung tipo na you just bought the base game kasi tina-try out mo pa and then, syempre, sobrang kapos ka sa budget. So, like, hindi ko man nabibilin yung DLC mo na. I could play the games like the literal base game lang muna and then I could buy the standalone muna. Then, wait for the sale. So, yun yung tinutukoy ko sa inyo, guys. If ever na you're like, nagustuhan mo yung game and all, I do advise na wait for its discounted price and then kung worth it talaga siyang bilhin or nagustuhan mo talaga yung game, dun mo kukunin yung parang opportunity or that moment na let's go and buy that DLC because I want to experience its full potential. As a gamer or enthusiast, I want to play that game in full experience. Yan yung dahilan kung bakit mo siya bibilhin. Alright? So, next one. Stock up on indie treats. Bakit? Indie games are very, very hard to get an opportunity with. Especially pag mga sales. Sobrang baba ng discounted price nila. Like, ang usually na nakikita ko, 10% off, 15% off, and ang pinakasagad na usually nakikita ko is around 25% off. So, nabili ko yung specific game na indie siya and do imagine that that game reached around 75% off. So, sobrang discounted niya. So, pag mga ganitong mga major events like yung ongoing summer Steam sale hype ngayon this week and until July 10th lang siya guys, so if ever man. So pag ang nangyayari yung mga ganun na major event, ibe-base mo siya kung worth it ba siyang bilhin. Pero as this is a major event nga, summer Steam sale siya, for sure, sobrang worth it niya, na to the point na you should go and buy that indie game with its very whooping discounted price. Which I'm going to explain kung paano mo makikita yung comparison ng previous sales niya in the previous Steam sales to the current Steam sales. I-explain ko yan mamaya. And then, next step would be, you can always wait for another sale. Meron naman next opportunity guys. So, kung sobrang kapos ka sa budget or sobrang mahal talaga ng game na to the point na you cannot afford it, syempre wala pang payday and all, I do advise to wait for yet another Steam sale. Kasi, mahirap pa man din tayo, mga young professional adults na tayo. Syempre, you have to buy your necessities talaga, yung mga foods mo, yung mga, yung mga panligo mo, or yung mga pangkain mo. Iyon. Kailangan yun mo muna yung unahin mo bago yung mga laro, syempre. Kasi pag inuna mo yung laro, guys, grabe. Makakain mo ba yung mga laro? Mabubuhay ka ba dyan? So, advice ko sa inyo, you can wait for yet another Steam sale. That's long story to that. Okay? And then next, check on weekends for publishers or theme sales. So, So, yung tinutukoy ko dito, which is in-explain ko na kanina, yung publisher sale. So, weekly naman nangyayari yung Steam sale. Pero for this current major event naman, until 10th siya. So, pagkatapos ng 10th, balik na naman sila sa normal basis nila ng weekly Steam sale. So, pag weekly, it's either pinipicture nila mga publisher sales or mga team sales, like sabihin natin Halloween sales or Christmas sale, yung mga ganun na team nila. So, yung mga games usually, if ever man na meron kang pinapokus na, sabihin natin like anime based na na game dun sa Steam, probably magkakaroon sila ng specific team sale for that one. So, for example, mahilig ka sa mga anime and all, or yung mga visual novels to that, for sure meron sila mga specific Steam sale na swak na it's that opportunity to get that game at its very discounted price. That's another tip. And then, consider Steam resellers if you don't want to wait for a Steam. This is a very alternative and an optional tip, guys. So, meron naman siyang mga another resellers yung besides Steam. So, there's GOG and then yung walang sawang Epic Games. So, meron rin silang mga binibenta mga games nila. So, discounted price and also Humble Bundle before I forget. So, meron rin silang mga doon, yung mga binibenta at it's very discounted price. And especially dun sa mga current na nangyayari ngayon, si Epic Games, ang ginagawa niya, nagbibigay sila ng libreng games for free. So, do check it out if you're interested man. Pero as a game enthusiast, go do focus dun sa mga games na gusto mo talagang bilhin or i-purchase man, or you're not going to rely on free games. Kasi, outside the topic na to guys, pero konting insight lang kahit paano. Kasi, sobrang importante ng buhay natin, like YOLO and all. So, gamitin mo yung oras mo wisely. Kasi, iba pa rin yung experience na, or iba pa rin yung tipo na pag pipili ka ng laro, and then in the end, kinuha mo yung laro, tapos hindi mo naman pala treat, you just like focusing na, oh, libre yung laro, let's get it. And then in the end, it's just gonna go and stay to dash, games of shame, or dun sa game library mo na listahan na hindi mo malalaro and all. So, that's the long list, or very short, pero brief tip of how you could save up money on Steam in this year 2019. So that wraps up for this video game side. And now we're going to go naman sa ating special segment, which is yung lock-on. So if ever man na baguhan ka or bagong viewer ka, lock-on is a special segment for game mode, which we do feature usually one video game in the host's personal perspective, or personal perspective ko when it comes to games, kumbaga. So, ano ba yung parang game na took interest, kumbaga. And that game is actually one of the upcoming games on Steam, which is called Necrobalista. So, Necrobalista is a very unique visual novel. Sobrang unique yung approach ng art niya. And then, it involves around coffee, necromancy, the dead, and also its bar. Pero hindi ko siya masyadong ma-explain as of the moment. Pero to know what the game is all about, let's go and watch this video that I prepared as Alright guys, so that's Necrobalista, which is developed by Route 59 and then published by Coconut Island Games and AGM Playism. So, if ever man that you're into a very unique approach to visual novels, I do recommend that, which is going to be released within this year, August of the 8th this year. So, that wraps up for our special segment. Going back naman dun sa ating topic. Now, on the tabletop side. So, for the tabletop side, ang minention ko nga, how do you apply board games to make you feel, or hindi naman feel, to improve your video gaming, or, video gaming skills, kumbaga. So, before I do provide this tip, guys, it is also important that it also involves in gaming design thread, or at saka, as a community as a whole. Bakit? Kasi, originally, itong parang theory na to, or yung tip na to, is parang recommended to for game designers. So, kung game designers ka, pwede itong makatulong sa'yo. Pero kung hindi ka game designer, pero mahilig sa games, pwede mo rin siyang i-apply naman sa everyday life mo as a gamer. Okay? So, let's go in our first tip. First step is, this is actually the purest translation of the rules to experience. Bakit? Kasi kung napansin mo naman as a game designer or as a gamer, hindi mabubuo yung games when it comes to game mechanics. So, sabihin natin yung bullet physics sa mga first-person shooter games, or yung mga frame rate or yung mga framework ng mga fast-paced na action games, like sabihin natin Devil May Cry, or yung dun sa mga fighting games natin like Tekken and that. So nakikita mo yung parang yung frames niya. Pero how do you apply that in the board games? So dun sa more board games kasi buo na siya, to the point na hindi mo na siya matatanggal yung mga rules na yon, like konkreto na siya. Hindi siya mabubuo as a board game without the rules. So if you're gonna play a board game, kung napansin mo, nandun na si rules and all, which it literally experience you its theme. Let's say sabihin natin Dead of Winter. So si Dead of Winter, bakit siya zombie apocalypse na theme na meron na set siya into the Dead of Winter? Kasi ganito yung mechanics ng game. So if ever man i-apply mo siya to game design, do get some specific reference kung paano mo siya magbibigyan buhay as a game, kung bakit ganun yung game mo and all. So bibigyan mo siya ng game mechanics or yung parang element niya kung bakit ganun yung pagbuo mo with that specific game. So that's one tip. Second tip is, it is actually a rule book that has an unbelievable amount of communication. So, hindi na natin maiiwasan dun sa mga most of the board games na meron tayo. Meron siyang mga social interaction and that. So, dito, yung sinasabi kasi dito is that it requires a rule book without any outside instruction or help. Yung kagaya nga na sinabi ko sa iyo previously on the first tip, if ever man na, nagtatanong si gamer na, bakit ganito? What is the behind of this specific mechanic? As a game designer, you're letting your gamers explore your game. Kasi doon mo malalaman of how do gamers do perceive or how do they communicate in game language na pwedeng tumalon dito sa platform nito. Pwedeng bumarel or ma-penetrate yung bullet in this specific wall kasi sobrang fragile niya. So doon mo sila experiment man as a game designer. So if ever na i-apply mo siya in games, imaginein mo na syempre hindi ma-appreciate mo yung game mechanics niya in terms na sobrang ganda niya kasi sobrang fluid niya. Sobrang ganda niya because hindi siya masyadong rough or sobrang smooth ng gameplay niya. Unlike sa mga ibang like sabihin natin you're going to have this conversation and then nagulat ka lang na sobrang unforgiving na conversation na yun, to the point it poisoned your food or whatever, and then every time you're doing initiate action, you get a specific poison damage status of 20 damage, tapos 100% health mo, and then every action pa yung nangyayari. So yun, if ever na na imaginein mo, sobrang konkreto ng games na merong flaws, you probably sure you won't like the game, and then sobrang merong loophole, and then sobrang flaw niya. Kaya I do suggest na if ever man as a game designer, check mo man kung okay ba yung game, na does it actually communicate yung dun sa mechanics ng game mo dun sa parehas ng iniisip ng gamer. Yun lang yung long story short na tinutukoy ko on the second tip. And then last but not the least, board games, they teach us social play. Ang pinaka ipipinpoint ko dito na terminology is yung social dynamics ng isang game. Bakit? Kasi 'di ba sa sa video games man is yung sinasabi dito is meron ng online game, may local play na wherein you communicate with other people. Wala yan comparing dun sa tabletop natin na local sila, na face-to-face interaction yung nangyayari sa kanila. So if ever man, imaginein mo as a face-to-face interaction, dun mo nakikita yung emotions nila in terms of the conflict, in terms of the personal opinions of how the game is currently happening right now. So let's say sabihin natin social deduction games, like sobrang twisted na nangyayari dun sa scenario na nangyayari nila, hindi na nila alam kung sino yung papagkatiwalaan nila. Like sabihin natin in the Secret Hitler's case na mafia ka ba, or fascist ka ba, or liberal ka ba, and then I do not know anymore what to trust anymore. So imaginein mo in competition perspective naman sa tabletop, meron rin yung sinasabi dito na the most player has the most points wins the game, or the player has the most points wins the game rather. So imaginein mo na magkaroon ng mechanics sa game na you do this to gain points, and then you subtract this specific points if you do ever have this specific card. So imaginein mo man if ever na i-apply mo siya sa game design, sobrang konkreto niya if you're going to follow that. So one tip of advice as a game designer, maglaro ka na masyadong maraming board games, and then i-apply mo siya doon sa video games na mo. Kasi imaginein mo man na konkreto na yun doon sa board games and then ang gagawin mo sa video games, mo siya, i-homebrew mo siya, tatanggalin mo siya, re-revise mo siya and all, and then ipatry mo ulit, and then tignan mo kung magkaparehas ba yung iniisip nila doon sa iniisip mo. And then, I guess that's probably it for this topic dun sa tabletop topic na merong sideline dun sa video game community natin. Alright? So, I guess that wraps up of our episode 7. I know guys, it's very short, pero don't worry, magkakaroon kami ng mas maraming bongga-bongga in our future episodes. Alright? So, announcements natin. Yung announcements natin for this episode is magkakaroon ng event on the Shaw Boulevard, which I'm going to be participating as well, which is Welcome to Number Q, which is a Persona specific event. So kung Persona fan, franchise fan ka, you probably want to join in that specific event, which is a viewing party siya, and then meron rin siya mga artist booth, and then yung mga merchandises ng Persona. Gaganapin siya sa Venture Space PH at Shaw Boulevard, which is from July 27. Starting niya is 1 PM to 7 PM. If ever na gusto mo makuha yung mga details nila, just go and search dun sa Facebook page, the Arcana Project. Alright? So, that wraps up for this episode 7. Before I end this video, I want to promote this page, which is yung dun sa VG8 Radio. Of course, it is also powered by CreatiVoices Productions. And then, dun sa page ko naman, which is ShikiYuki. And then also my YouTube channel, which is also named as ShikiYuki. And then, of yung ano natin, of yung voice acting voice works natin. So there's this last batch na mangyayari, which is the fifth batch and the last batch. So kung gusto niyo umabol guys, kasi batch 49 is currently ongoing. So if you still want to catch up voice works batch 50, do check dun sa Philippine Voice Center yung yung details nila. And then you can check dun sa Creative Voices as well yung mga details nila. So check mo lang and then inquire kung paano kayo makasali. So again, and this is your host ShikiYuki, and I hope you do tune in again for yet gaming related topics in game mode, which is a video gaming and tabletop gaming podcast. So again, I do to see you soon. Bye guys.
Hear the voices of greatness. VG8 Radio. VG8 Radio.
VG8 Radio.
VG8 Radio.